Shalom, this is Bishop Nathaniel. 34 times the Booster Club has been called upon and 34 times they've answered. Join the team today and help send the prophets around the world. 12 tribes worldwide. Shalom.
I can't get enough of this word, call me library. All you do is talk, I tell them read, I'll be your pallbearer. As long as my hands clean, I'ma teach, I let the laws tear. You rebuck your doctrine, can't believe I even fell for it. Yeah. Bodies dropping, no top models, no need for worries, cause God got us. See, masculinity need to be shown for real. And all of you that's cross-dressing would be dressed to be killed. Apollo Creed, but I'm hitting like I'm Holyfield. You counting sheep, but you the hireling, the type to flee. This for the meat, when the battle won, they gnash their teeth. I can't believe I even fell for their hypocrisy. Like it or not, it's Kwam Yasharala. Laws attached to the brain, medulla oblongata. We are not the same over here, we walk with giants. 10 toes down with the clay is mixed with iron. I can't get enough of this word, call me library. All you do is talk, I tell them read, I'll be your pallbearer. As long as my hands clean, I'ma teach, I let the laws tear. You rebuck your doctrine, can't believe I even fell for it.
Minister. In this race, you gotta last just to finish first. I'm in the big league with the top prophets, warming up.
It's been too long. Our people don't know who they are. But today, we're going to show our people who they are according to the Bible. Read.
This is the book of John, chapter 8, and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
You so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, you're going to find out the truth according to the Bible. And the truth is what's going to make us free. Because guess what? Give me that in Peru. Because we're not free till this day in 2020. We're not free.
Come on now.
As you can see, our people are still getting gunned down in the street. Guess what? What's the reason why? The reason is in the Bible.
Right.
The reason why we're going through what we're going through, guess what? We can find out about the issue in the Bible.
Right.
We can find the solution in the Bible.
That's right.
Whatever you're going through, guess what? You can find it in the Bible. Read.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, and verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
What God said?
Behold, yet this day we are in our captivity.
Read it from the top again. Come on.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
Guess what? Our people are subject to payments. Guess what? We're not free. So guess what? We are in captivity till today.
That's right.
We're still paying taxes. We're still paying car loans.
Right.
We're still paying mortgage loans.
Right.
You see that thing? So that's not the only thing we're doing. We're still serving other nations.
That's right.
Guess what? We're in captivity. If you can prove me wrong that we're not in captivity, come up and tell us, show us we're not in captivity.
Come on, huh?
Show us, give us the proof. But we're telling you the proof out the Bible, straight out from the Bible, the King James Version Bible.
That's right.
Read that for continue reading.
Verse 9. Hear Israel,
subject to payments. Come on.
that you are subject to payments according to all the iniquities of your fathers, which departed from the Lord your God.
Because of the iniquities, what's iniquity according to the Bible? The sins of our forefathers.
Right.
The sins that, what's the sin? Give me sin.
Bring it out.
Let's get sin real quick, because, and sister on the side over here, let me ask you real quick. You believe in God? And sister smoking, do you believe in God? What about you, brother? With the hoodie on, do you believe in God? We are here for y'all. Why y'all acting like you ain't trying to talk? We are here for you.
That's right.
We are here for our people.
Right.
We know our people have been brokenhearted. You know what I mean? We know that. That's why we're trying to reach out to our people.
Right.
We know our people. We know the struggle that our people are going through.
That's right.
That's why we out here.
Right.
But if it comes down to the so-called white man, you're going to be able to talk to him. Hey, massa, hey, I'm going through this, I'm going through that.
Right.
You're going to talk about that. You're going to be able to come forward and talk to your slave master.
Right.
But to your own brothers, you don't want to come up.
That's right.
Read.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law.
So sin, according to the Bible, is what? When you break God's laws.
That's right.
When you break God's laws. For example, the sister smoking on his side. That's breaking God's laws.
That's right.
You're not supposed to smoke. Do you know that according to the Bible? No, you don't. If you knew that, guess what? You shouldn't be breaking that law. Because God only gave his laws to his people. This so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Give me the book of Psalms.
Bring it on.
Let's prove what we're talking about. Because whatever we're talking about, we're going to go inside of the Bible and bring it out.
That's right.
We're not going to come out from our own thought. We're going to teach out the Bible. Psalms 119. Let's get it. Yeah.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147 and verse 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
So he showed his word unto who?
Jacob.
Unto Jacob. Who's Jacob? You can find, if you come up here, you so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, you're going to find Jacob on this sign right here. That'll be the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Read.
And he had not dealt so with any nation.
He had not dealt what?
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
Guess what? God is saying he's not dealing with other nations other than us.
That's right.
So that's why we come out here dealing with our people. The same way God is dealing with us, it's the same way we're coming out here trying to deal with our people.
That's right.
Because our people are the one that need solutions.
That's right.
We getting up oppressed every day. Hey, brothers. Hey, brother with the white sweater. Hey, brother. Let me talk to y'all for a minute. Right? Hey, how you doing? How you doing today, brother? How you doing?
I'm alright.
Oh, you're an Israelite? Okay. Okay. So, how did you find out you're an Israelite? How did you find out?
When I went to Iraq, I was reading with some brothers.
I hear y'all a lot.
They got together and got with the organization.
Okay, so what you're saying is, do you know the Muslim religion has nothing to do with the Israelite?
I was just saying that they
Give me Deuteronomy 4:44 real quick. Let's see what God gave the Israelite according to the Bible. You know what I mean? Because we have nothing to do with religion, right? We're not a religious group or not like that. We just go by what God give us, which is his law, statutes, and commandments. 4:44. Come on.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 44. And this is the law which Moses set before the children of Israel.
This is the what?
And this is the law which Moses set before the children of Israel.
It doesn't say religion. It doesn't say Islam. It doesn't say Christianity. You see that? This is the law that God gave us. So what's the law? What's the law? Do you know God's laws according to the Bible? Let's bring out some of this law that's pertaining to the Israelite. You see the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Because black is just a color.
Right, that's right.
You know what I mean? Out of the crayon box. That's not a true nationality of us. Read. Give me Deuteronomy, Leviticus 21:5. Give me that. We're going to give you a law real quick. Let's see if you're keeping this law. How you doing today, buddy? What's your nationality? Do you know who you are according to the Bible?
I'm a human being.
Human being? Yeah, I mean, we are human beings, but God gave us a specific nationality according to the Bible. Okay, we're going to show you something, all right? Read.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 21 and verse 5.
So we just read about what? God gave Israelite laws, statutes, and commandments. So we're going into one of the laws that he gave us. Read.
They shall not make baldness upon their head.
They shall not do what?
Make baldness upon their head.
So the Israelite man is not supposed to shave or bald their head.
Neither shall they shave out the corner of their beard.
So I'm gonna say it again. The Israelite man, the so-called black man, is not supposed to cut his head bald. You know what I mean? Not completely. You know, you can trim your hair or whatever, but you're not supposed to go completely bald. That's what God is saying. Read it from the top again.
They shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave out the corner of their beards.
And you're not supposed to shave off the corner of your beard. You're supposed to let your beard go. You know what I mean? Even your beard line, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be like, you know, just like the way it is. The way everybody up here is wearing it. You know, not the thing, you know what I mean, stripe, you know what I mean, type of beard. You gotta let it grow out. Give me that in 1929. The other one in Leviticus, 1928, something like that. You know, so God gave us that law to keep as an Israelite man. Read.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 28. You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh. Verse 27, you shall not round the corners of your head, neither shalt thou mount the corners of thy beard.
See, that law is going over that law again in a different chapter and verse. You see that? So we're not supposed to shave off our beard, you know what I mean, and go bald. You know, that's against God's laws. Guess what? Hey, brother, are you listening? Listen to God's laws, man. Listen to God's laws. Give me that in 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 11. And after this, me showing you these laws, we're gonna go into the solution of why we're being oppressed today. Read.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
So, right from the top of the verse, it says, Paul wrote this book, right? He said, I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, meaning the leader of the so-called black man is Christ, the black Messiah. Read.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the man. Are you married? Are you married? You the man of the house. You the man in your household. You the head, the leader in your household. Read.
And the head of Christ is God.
And the head of who?
And the head of Christ is God.
And when Christ got a head, meaning a leader that he reports to, right? Which is God.
It was black.
What's your question?
Now he's saying it's all black men.
All black men are kings, yeah. So what all black men are you referring to? Are you talking about all black men, including the Africans? Okay. Let me. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to show you something. All right. That's what you say, though. That's what the Bible says. Finish that out. Read.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered.
Read that part again.
Every man praying or prophesying.
Every man praying or prophesying. This is it's going into a law. Every man praying or prophesying. What do you think we're doing out here? Are we praying or prophesying? Right, because praying would be you closing your eyes, you praying to God, you know what I mean, stuff like that. Prophesying meaning you teaching out the Bible, the future of what is to come. You know what I mean? That's prophesying. So every man praying or prophesying, read,
Having his head covered.
having his what?
Having his head covered.
Read.
Dishonoring his head.
You know what that means? You know what that's saying?
I didn't catch that.
Okay, I'm gonna break it down for you. I'm gonna break it down for you too. Guess what? The Bible says every man praying or prophesying, read,
Having his head covered.
having his head covered, because I see you two brothers have your head covered right now. You know what I mean? But God said having his head covered, do what?
Dishonoring his head.
Do what?
Dishonoring his head.
Okay. Oh, you gotta go now? Okay. But guess what though? You're not supposed to cover your head with whether you're praying, reading the Bible. You say, all praise due to the Most High. Give me that in Psalms 119, 59. I'm gonna answer you just for a little bit. We do things decently in their order, you know what I mean? We're in the middle of, you know what I'm saying, conversation right now, but I'm gonna deal with you, all right? So it's a good thing that you did that. You know what I mean? Let me show you what you just did. Read. 59. 119 verse 59. Psalms 119 verse 59. Come on.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 59. I thought on my ways.
You thought on your ways. You know when we put out God's laws, read.
And turned my feet unto thy testimony.
And you did what? You applied God's laws. Read.
I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.
Yeah. Was it hard for you to take your direct? It wasn't hard. As you can see, we're setting an example too. All of us out here, we don't have our head covered because what? We're showing that example. We're not trying to be a hypocrite. You know what I mean? You know, teaching out the Bible. You see that thing? You know, so it's not hard. Give me that. 1 John 5 and 3. It's not hard to keep God's law. But a lot of people think it's hard to do. That's why we go through what we go through. That's why we go through oppression. That's why we're at the bottom of the society. That's why we're living the way we're living. Because we don't want to keep God's laws. Read.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
This is the love of God. The love of God, according to the Bible, is to keep his commandments. Not, oh, I love God with all my heart, and that's it. That's action behind loving God, according to the Bible. Read.
That's right. And his commandments are not grievous.
His commandments are not what?
Are not grievous.
Meaning his commandments is not hard to do. You just acted upon it. You know what I mean? It wasn't hard for you to take your do-rag off. You know what I mean? So that's a law we must keep. What about today? Do y'all know what today is? I see you took your hat off too for, hey, all praise due to the Most High. Do you know what today is according to the Bible? Y'all know what today is? The Sabbath, right? So today is the Sabbath day according to the Bible. So how must we keep this Sabbath day according to the Bible? That's another question. Keep it holy. How do you keep it holy? Okay, but you're not being specific though. But you
wouldn't be doing this on a holy day.
Okay, we want to be teaching. That's what you're saying.
You teach us how to a higher standard, so be careful what you teach.
Let's get this law. Let's get this law, and then we're gonna deal with you. Read.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
God said remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy because what? At some point later on down in our generation, we was going to forget. As you can see, our people have forgotten the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Some of our people go to church on Sundays. That's not keeping the Sabbath day holy at all because Sunday is the first day of the week. And Saturday is the seventh day of the week, which is the Sabbath day according to the Bible.
6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work.
So 6 days we can work. But read.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
But the seventh day of the week, which is Saturday, according to the calendar, guess what? It's the Sabbath day of the Lord our God. Guess what? We're not supposed to work today. That's one way you can keep the Sabbath day holy. Read.
In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Give me that in Nehemiah real quick. So you see that? On the Sabbath day, we're not supposed to work.
Hold on, brother. I got my nephew right here.
Okay. So, the brother said something about we're not supposed to teach on the Sabbath day. Hold that. Let's get Luke 4 and 17. Let's see what Christ did. Because what we're doing is following the example of Christ. That's what we're doing. Because if we don't do that, guess what? We'll be a hypocrite. Then we won't be doing what Christ said to do, according to the Bible. 16.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 4, and verse 16. And he came to Nazareth where he had been brought up.
So this is talking about Christ, where he's talking about where he was brought up. Read.
And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day.
He went to the synagogue on the Sabbath day. Let's see what he did when he went to the synagogue on the Sabbath day.
Come on, and stood up for to read.
He did what?
And stood on to read.
He stood up and read on the Sabbath day. That's what somebody else was teaching. Give me that in Nehemiah chapter 8.
Come on.
You know what I want? The pulpit. Verse 4.
8 and 6 or something. Yeah.
5, 6, yes.
Somewhere in there.
Let's see what the prophets did. That's just a Christ example of what he did on the Sabbath day. Let's see what the prophets did on the Sabbath day. Read.
This is the book of Nehemiah chapter 8 and verse 5. And Ezra opened the book in the sight of all the people. For he was above all the people.
So for you to be above all the people, you must be doing what? You must be standing on the stage or on the pulpit, like in the church, right? You see the pastor in the pulpit is above the people. Let's start at verse 4. Read.
The book of Nehemiah chapter 8 and verse 4. And Ezra the scribe stood upon a pulpit of wood.
You see that? Even the pulpit is in the Bible. It's talking about it in the Bible. Y'all brothers, listen up. Read.
Which they had made for the purpose. And beside him stood Mattathiah and Shema and Ananiah and Urijah and Hilkiah and Manasseh. And on his right hand and on his left hand, Pedaiah.
You see that? So that's talking about the formation that we in right now.
Right.
You see that? That formation we got that from the Bible. So we doing what the Bible say. You know what I mean? We're not doing nothing different.
That's right.
I ain't never gonna go more into it because it's in the Bible what we're doing right now.
I was telling you the Bible about that. I was asking about the hair, y'all talking about the beard. And I was talking to this man, I was saying that 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and talked about the head being covered by man.
What about it? So what you're saying about the hair cover? You don't want to cover your head? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not in church.
It's to keep the shade.
You're not in church? You mean?
No, I'm not.
Hold on.
But you are not getting women in there.
You know what I'm gonna say?
So what you mean you're not in church?
I'll be practicing. But what I'm saying is, he was talking about the dreads and the hair.
Let's get that. 1 Corinthians
Where
11.
it says, hey, a man should not have long hair because he can be mistaken as a woman.
Okay.
Not have the hair cut. Should not have the hair long.
Right. So what about
telling me that we should?
should do what?
We showed you in the Bible where it says that a man should not.
Just a little bit. Stay this way. Yeah. So what you're saying is,
We can't have long hair. He said we can't have long hair. The Bible.
do you understand what you're reading though?
Yes, come on. I took back context and forward context.
Give me, hold up. Give me first. Give me that Psalms 111 and 10.
No, he was in Corinthians 11.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that. But give me Psalms 111 verse 10. But guess what? Because you have to be able to be keeping God's law for you to understand what the Bible is talking about.
That's right.
If you're not keeping God's laws, guess what? You're going to be confused.
Right.
You're going to be forever confused. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
See, you're not listening. Are you listening to God? We're listening to God's words right now, right? We're bringing it out, right? So read it from the top again. Read.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all. A good understanding have all day that do His commandments.
A good understanding have all day that do His commandments. Are you keeping God's commandments?
Nothing to do with what I just brought up.
It has something to do with it. I just read it again.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all day that do His commandments.
A good understanding have all day that do God's commandment. Guess what? If you're not doing God's commandment, you're not going to understand the Bible.
That's right.
Period. You're not going to understand what the Bible is talking about. So there's no point for me to go to that scripture when you're not keeping the God's commandment.
Right.
You're not following Christ's example.
Right.
Give me that 1 Peter 2:20. Because we're supposed to be following Christ's example.
That's right.
That's why we are here to show our people the example of Christ, how we should walk.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2. And verse 20.
Come on, example.
Yes, sir. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 20. For what glory is it if when you be buffeted for your faults, you shall take it patiently. But if when you do it well, verse 21.
Yeah, verse 21.
Verse 21. For unto us Hereunto were you called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps.
Christ left us his example that we should follow his steps. He did not leave us man example.
Right.
Man is not supposed to be the one living us example, but Christ.
Right.
Christ is the person we're supposed to follow.
That's right.
That's the man we're supposed to follow according to the Bible. But what is our brothers doing out here today in the streets? What are they doing in the streets?
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.